Hi guys, Wayne and Tom here. We showed off some really exciting features in Webinar 12. We showed off 3 new features that are already in the app that you can use right now. So stick around for the demo to see what they are and how you can use them to speed up your video creation process. Here I am, and alright, I'm at Content Samurai, so you guys should be kind of familiar with Content Samurai at the moment. What I'm going to do is quickly show you just like how easy it is to make a video now. I keep trying to not say the word automatic, but it's going to do everything automatically for me. So what I'll do is I'll quickly show you how to make a video so quickly and why we're so excited to show you guys these features, and then I'll circle back and I'll talk about them in a little bit more detail. But let me wow you a little bit. So let me click the create a new video button. First of all, I should say I've created a folder in here, which is just local businesses, and I'll click create a new video. So I've already created a script, or Tom and I got together and we wrote a script. It wasn't too long. It's about 10 sentences long, and it's based off a pizza store offering some new items. So I've just typed in a title, which is just pizza, and I'll pop in my script here. And you'll see on the left here that there are a few more options. We used to have 1 slide per sentence. That one's already there. But now we have bold keywords for me as an option that you can check. We have select images as an option you can check. And we have add motion to images for me that you can check. So without harping on too much, let me show you exactly how quick and easy it is to create a video. So I just click the create slides, and you can see the new little animation of Sam tapping away at his computer. And now you can see that Content Samurai has automatically created my slides. And honestly, one second, all I really need to do now is just review my slides. Everything's done automatically for me. So all the hard work we used to have to do when we were creating videos is all done for me. I've just popped in a script, and now it's just a matter of reviewing my slides, because as you can see, it's automatically bolded words for me, and it's added an image, and it's adding images to each slide. So there we go. There's the first slide there. Do you want something quick and easy for dinner, but don't want to spend all week in the gym working the calories off? Then we've got the man working away at the gym. Giuseppe's Pizza is now offering brand new range. Great picture of a pizza there. Scroll down a bit more. Try our healthy pizzas with toppings, including... Okay, so there's actually a little bit too much text on this slide for me. So even though it's done an amazing job of picking a great image, I personally want to just split that. So I'm placing my cursor after the word corn, and I'll click the insert slide break button. I need to slow down. I'm tripping over my own words. Okay, so I've split the slide here, and I'll go to images, and you can see up here there are suggested images. So it's picked all of the words off here, and it's suggesting tomato to be one of the better words to search for images. And it was right. There's some really, really cool images here for tomato. So I'll scroll down a little bit to find one that's got a tomato, but it's also got a couple of other vegetables too. So there we go. That's done. I might quickly bold a word here too. So let's go low fat and click bold. Okay, so a little bit of work, really nothing. And this slide's good. If I review it, some zesty lemon, that's a great image. Delicious low-fat dessert, that's a great image. Home delivery, great image. And call us now, great image. So that's it. Like we were saying, everything's automatically done for me. I'll come to the music. For this example, let's do music only. Just go ahead to preview your video. So as you've just seen, we've pasted in a script. We did create the script before we started this webinar, but all I did is I created a new video. I pasted in my script. There was 1 slide I needed to change. And honestly, that's probably me being a bit picky. There was 1 slide I needed to change. And that's it. Now I have a video. And what I'm going to do is click play so you can see the motion.
So as you can see, there's a complete video there playing, and if Wayne was to do it without demoing it in this webinar, you can actually do that whole process that Wayne did, from pasting in the script or the blog post, reviewing the images, and getting a completed video that you're previewing. It can be done in under 60 seconds. We were testing it out just to see how long it would take, and if you go with what the system gives you, which is pretty good, as you can see, Wayne only tweaked one slide on that. It takes 60 seconds to go from pasting a script, reviewing the slides, choosing a music track, and getting to preview where you can watch the video, all in under 60 seconds, which we think is amazing. So
yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So you can imagine how powerful this will be. You have something new that you want to show off. For example, if you did own a pizza company and you had some new features or something that you wanted to get out to, I don't know, people on Facebook, or you just wanted to share a video on any one of the social media platforms, it's just so easy. You just pop in a script, everything's done automatically for you. If you're not picky like me and you don't want to split a slide, then you don't have to. It was literally 5 clicks to create a video. So that's a really quick way of showing you how to create a video. But what I might do now that we're in a webinar and we're here, is I'm going to circle back, and I'm going to actually show you some options that you can select. So I'm back in the script section of the same video, and what I'm going to do is edit the script, because at the moment it's all locked up. It's just saying if I make changes, it may impact things later for me, but that doesn't really matter. I'll unlock it, because all I want to do is actually talk about these options. So like I said before, there are 3 new options here on the left, which are bold keywords for me. And as you saw when I went through the slides, each slide had keywords bolded. So you can check that off. And if you don't want your, or if you want to select your keywords yourself, or you don't want any words bolded, then just uncheck this box and create your video that way. Similarly, for the for the images, you can uncheck this box. Then images won't be added to your slides. It's that easy. I really like images. I think images really add so much value to creating a video. So I'll keep that one checked. And when I showed you the preview, you would have noticed there was what's called Ken Burns, which is where the images are moving. And it's a really, really great way to keep viewer engagement and just to keep anyone watching focused on the actual video. But again, you can uncheck that if you think that's distracting or you don't like that effect. You can uncheck it. But of course, I'll keep it checked, because I can't tell you how long I've been waiting for that. However long Content Samurai came out, that's how long I've been waiting.
And we should just say that by default, those 3 options will be checked when you create a new video. So by default, we're turning them on for you, because we think they're time saving and they make it a magical experience when you paste in your blog post or your article or your script into Content Samurai. Those 3 things are checked, and you click create slides, and it does the work for you. It's amazing.
Is that your cat in the background? So they're the 3 magic things that we've added. So you can create a video. The process is so much more magic nowadays. You don't have to do anything. All the hard work is done for you. It's honestly, it's absolutely amazing. So there are a few things that I did want to talk about. So let's have a quick look here. I made a little list, so excuse me if I'm talking a little bit slow. I'm just having a quick read of my list of things that I wanted to show you guys. So the auto bold. So what's actually happening with the automatic bolding on each slide is that Content Samurai, it magically determines which are the most important words on each slide, and it will automatically bold them. So it's determined that want something are the most important words on this slide. But here's the thing. You can unbold if you want. If you wanted to highlight something and unbold it, or you wanted to keep that bold and you wanted to bold, let's say, easy for dinner, just for example. I'm going to unbold it in a second, but I could bold it, I could italicize it still, and I could underline it. So we haven't actually taken anything away from you. All we're doing is just adding value and making things a little bit quicker for you. So if you didn't like what Content Samurai did, you could definitely come up here and go ahead and turn that off. But obviously I do like that. So I'll use the keyboard shortcut, which is Command B because I'm on a Mac, or Control B for Windows. And that's back to being bold. Okay, so now the images. I wanted to talk, well, let's go to this next image, just for example. Oops, a little bit too far. So what's actually happening with the images and how we pick the images is, again, Content Samurai is reading the text that's on each slide. And it's determining the best image for each slide here. So it read here, it said, but don't want to spend all week in the gym working the calories off. So it's obviously picked gym being the main word for this slide. And if you go to the images section here, oh, actually, I told a bit of a fib. It picked calories. Of course, it's highlighted as the most important word. And you can change the slide. You can change the image if you want. So if you come up here and click calories as suggested, that would work. I could also click gym. But again, I mean, we haven't taken anything away. You can type in whatever you like. Let's go really left of center. Let's type in basketball. You can type in whatever you like and still get images and still add them. So I could, here are some images for basketball. I could click that and it would add it to the slide. It wouldn't fit, so I'm not going to do it. But I could search for whatever I wanted to. You've also got your suggested images up here, which you just click to make it a lot easier for searching. Oh, it was gym. And yeah, I could change that if I wanted to. Here we go, like a couple of rows of dumbbells, and that actually makes sense. So that's what's happening with the images. So I'll just show you again. I'll let you know that Content Samurai has picked out new range because it's determined all of the words that are on this slide. It's figured out that new range is the most powerful part of the text that's on this slide. But it also notices that pizza is the best image to use for the slide. So it put pizza as the image, but it selected the new range for for the bolded words. So that's kind of a little bit of a background of how we're adding the images.
Really quickly, Wayne, Peter is just asking a couple of questions I think we could probably answer now. He was saying, so do you have to manually change the highlighted word? So I think he's saying, does the highlighted word have to match the image word? In that case, we've got new range highlighted, but the images are based off pizza.
Let me go up. Yeah, no, they don't have to change. No, they don't have to match at all. Like, you don't. Personally, I wouldn't have pizza as my highlighted word. The most important, or the most exciting part of this slide here is that there's a new range of healthy choice. I think healthy choice may have been a very close second, but the fact that there's a new range, that's really what your video is trying to get across here. Is that, hey, Giuseppe's Pizza is now offering a brand new range of healthy choice menu items. So the new range was determined to be the most important. That's why it's highlighted, is that, hey, it's new, it's brand new, it's great. This is really cool. So that's why that's selected. I personally wouldn't have pizza or Giuseppe. I wouldn't have any other words highlighted. I think that's an absolutely perfect slide. So does that answer the question?
I think that answers it, but we'll wait for Peter to confirm. The other one, and I'm sidetracking you here, Wayne, so I'm sorry for throwing you under the bus. Ed was asking, the images are faded. Can we manipulate the images to make them sharper or brighter? Now, I think this one's just simply because of the layout we've chosen for this slide. If Wayne was to change the layout to have the text at the bottom or on the sides, you'll see that the image will become brighter. So there are different options to play around with the layout, and I would suggest trying having different layouts on each slide does help with the video to be engaging. So you don't necessarily want it to all be the same layout. It's just for this example, we left them as the same layout, but you can definitely change them up. And Thomas was asking, can you add your own image? Yes, you can, Thomas. Wayne might be able to quickly show us this, but I think we might have to circle back for some of these questions because they're going to sidetrack our little demo too much.
Yeah, you can add your own image. So if you switch to the images tab, like I was showing off before, I've still got Jim in there from the previous slide, but we still have our suggestions for this slide here. So toppings, pizza, spinach, corn included in that order. You could switch to the upload images tab and you could upload an image. I don't have anything in there ready to go. There's some Patron tequila at Twitter. This is, I think, from the previous DMW that I've done. And I don't have anything ready to go for pizza or anything in this example video, but you could definitely upload an image by clicking the upload image button, finding the image on your computer, letting it upload, and then simply clicking it, and it would add to the slide. So yeah, you can definitely, we haven't taken anything away. No features have been taken away. We've just added an automatic way to do everything for you. A real magic automatic experience to create a video. So everything's still there. But yeah. Should we continue on?
Yes, let's continue on. Sorry.
All right, not a problem. So what I'll do is I'll actually come up to this slide above, the one that says try our healthy pizzas. And you'll notice up here in the menu that runs along the top of each slide, there's a motion section here that has a drop down. So if I click that, you can see the options are none, zoom in, and zoom out. This is the Ken Burns. So if in the previous screen in the script section, as I said before, you can check and uncheck. If you unchecked it, none of these would have a motion, but I had it checked. So they have a motion of zoom in. And when I previewed my video, you can see that the image actually moved a little bit, ever so slightly, just to keep that viewer engagement. So up here is where you can find the moving, the Ken Burns or the zoom in or zoom out, whatever you would like to call it, but the animation of the image. So you can have it zoom in. And if you remember, I was a bit picky and I split this slide after the word corn. So let's scroll down to the next slide. Because I split it, the motion defaulted to none. So that might look a little bit weird if all of the other images are moving and this image doesn't move. So let's go ahead and click that and click zoom in. So it matches the rest of the slides. So if you go down to the next slide below, oops, went a bit too far, sorry. It's zoom in. And if I go to the next slide again, zoom in, and we're at 7 of 10, so I'll just show you the rest. And I'll explain from here the last couple of slides. So it's picked dessert as the image here, the word on the slide to add the image. It's also automatically highlighted delicious low-fat desserts, which is personally I would have done as well. It's what you're trying to get across is that there are also delicious low-fat desserts as an option. Let's go down a little, just one more. It's picked home as the image here from the words off the slide, and home delivery as the main point of that slide. And then there's the call us now. So I would assume it's call for the image, and the tasty guilt. You could possibly add free in here if you'd like, the tasty guilt-free dinner. So that's just a quick example of how we, first of all, automatically bold words on each slide, and we automatically pick images for each slide, and also where you can either turn on or change the motion for each slide. And I think that basically covers the demo. Did I miss anything, Tom?
No, I think that covers it well. And I think the main thing that we wanted to show you guys was that these new features take the app from an app that helps you, or that lets you create a video, to an app that creates a video for you, and then you simply review it. So it's kind of taking all of the hard work out of creating videos. And I know that we've been using these features for the last 2 digital marketing weeklies. I think it's the last 2 we've done, and we've found them to save a lot of time in finding the images and highlighting the script. It's a time-saving features that once you start using these features, you'll realize how powerful they really are. And yeah, just how nice it is to go paste in your blog post or your script and have a video that's pretty much ready to go, and you're just reviewing it.
Yep.
So
what I might do myself is just quickly change the preview and hit play. I'll turn the music volume down so you can actually hear me. So you guys can watch this as I say that it's really changed the game with Content Samurai. Instead of actually creating a video from scratch, like having it's kind of like a blank canvas and starting from scratch, like Tom said, it's more of a review process. So everything's already done automatically for you. The whole thing automatically done. And it's a matter of reviewing and saying, is that up to my standard? And we hope it is, because we've got a bunch of awesome magic features that determine the best words for each slide, and not only for which words to bold, but which images to add. And we've added motion for those as well. So we feel like it's a really, 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 really powerful thing, and it's saved us so much time already just on the Digital Marketing Weekly and the videos that we do in-house. It's just saving so much money. So like Tom said, it's just a review process nowadays. So if you want, you can start from scratch and build your own video. That's perfectly fine. Or you can let Content Samurai build your video for you, and you can review it and maybe tweak it a little bit if you like. If you're picky like me and you want to split slides, and you can just play around with it, and it's a lot more fun. It is so much more fun and a lot quicker to create videos. So
yes.
With that being said, that pretty much brings me to the end of my demo.
Yep. So now what we'll do is we'll move into the Q&A section of the webinar. There are people that have posted questions during the webinar that we will circle back to as well. But before we do that, we've got some questions that were left below the registration video that we wanted to quickly answer. We like to look after those people first because they did follow the call to action in the video and leave questions.
Yep.
So the first one is Heinrich said, will the videos be submitted in a way that different language variants can be implemented? How are you going to support non-English speaking audiences and videos? The good news is that at the moment, the app currently will work with most languages out there. I know that there are some languages that if they go from right to left, the app might not work as intended, but we're not saying that it won't work, it just might not work perfectly. But for all other languages, the app does work. It does a pretty good job of setting the automatic timing for the video and the slides very well. And the best thing to do is if you are worried that it might not work with your language, and there's so many languages out there that we probably haven't tested it with every single one. If you are worried about it, sign up for a free trial, give it a go, and if it works, that's awesome. If you do run into any problems with it, get in touch with us in support and we'll see what we can do. We're always happy to try and help out. So yeah, it should work. And if it doesn't, get in touch and we'll see if we can fix it.
Yeah, give the free trial a shot. It's free. All right, and the next question is from Frankie. He said, I would like a full demonstration of Ken Burns effects and how to use it and activate it. Can we turn it off and on? Can we choose the direction of Ken Burns? So what I'm going to do, this is actually a 2-part question, and that was the first part. But what I'll do is I'll circle back and I'll show my screen again. And I'll just show you that up here, actually, what I might do is go to the script section and unlock my script and just remind you that you can turn it off and on with this little checkbox here. So add motion for images for me. And if you're ever confused, just hover over the little question mark and you get a little description of what Ken Burns is and what you might be turning off or on. And like I said, just click it, it turns it off and on. Moving on to the slide section, in the menu that runs along the top of each of these slides, there's the motion section. So you click that, there's a drop down and you've got none. If you want to turn it off, you've got zoom in and you can zoom out. So they're the options at the moment. Those might expand to left and right. We're not too sure. These are brand new. We just wanted to at least get zoom in, zoom out and things and some motion at the moment into the app. Yeah, so hopefully that answers the first part of your question. Let me stop showing my screen and switch back and read the second half of the question. So he also asks, I would love to know what is the shortest type of video I can make with Content Samurai that is giving great value for my market and building my YouTube channel. I want to pump out videos with Content Samurai as fast as possible, but don't know what to make as the content of the videos and what script. Thanks. Excuse me. So that one's a little harder to answer. That one's more based off your YouTube channel and your market and things like that. And as much as we'd love to have time to go into to help out everybody in their own markets, we actually have a place for that, which is the I Use Content Samurai group that a lot of you are probably members of already. And I think that's the best way to get direct feedback. A lot of people are talking to a lot of people are talking in that group, and I think it's amazing. The community we have in that group is absolutely amazing. Everybody's giving each other feedback, and most of all, it's positive feedback, and everyone's taking the feedback really well. So that's really great. But that's where I would go to ask about your specific market and how to build your YouTube channel. And people in there, I'm frequently in there, Tom's frequently in there, but if you give us maybe an example of what your market is and create a video and ask if how to improve it, or if you want any feedback, that's definitely the place to post your videos or your questions, the I Use Content Samurai group, because it's just a really good community. So Tom, could you post up a link to the I Use Content Samurai group for anybody who's not already part of it?
Yep, I've done that. Just did it about a minute ago. So we were thinking alike.
Cool.
Okay. The next question comes from Thomas. Great name, Thomas. Not biased at all. And he had 3 questions in no particular order. First one was around mail list tweaking. He was saying that he's already a monthly subscriber to Content Samurai and he keeps getting emails about the free trial. That one sounds like there might be 2 different email addresses in our system and that doesn't know that you've got a free trial on one and a paid account on the other. So get in touch with us in support and we will take a look into that for you. The next question was, when will the additional formats be incorporated in Content Samurai? Now, I think you're referring to the formats we talked about in webinar 11, which is the square formats for social media. The good news is that we are currently looking into what's needed to do that. And if you think about the last month or since the last webinar, we've gotten the Ken Burns stuff into the app. We've gotten the automatic bolding or the automatic highlighting tab. We've got the automatic image population. So the app has progressed a lot in a month. And so I'm thinking that the new formats shouldn't be too far away. I can't reveal too much about it, but we're crossing our fingers. We want it as much as you do. With our digital marketing weekly videos, we post them to Facebook at the moment, and we'd love it if they were in a square format. So fingers crossed it'll happen soon. We're poking and prodding the right people to make it happen, that's for sure. Now, the third question was the ability to adjust font sizes in custom themes. Again, this is something we want as much as you do. I think just before this webinar, Wayne and I were talking, and he was saying that he'd love to be able to have, one really big word and then some smaller ones. So, full customization of the font sizes on the site. So again, it's something that we're trying to work towards, and hopefully it'll happen it'll happen in the future.
It's a great suggestion too, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. So we'll move on. Actually, let me just say again. I'll just reiterate that I think was it last webinar or maybe 2 webinars ago we showed off like the future of Content Samurai. Maybe 2 webinars ago, and the reaction was amazing. The reaction was so cool, and even to be told that from the marketing team that we could tell you guys about that, it was so cool. And we thought like, oh, this is amazing. But we also had doubts, and we were like, well, this is going to be so long down the track. Is it something we want to actually tell the webinar people about? And then you look back, and it really hasn't been that long, and 3 out of the 4 major features are already in the app. So those additional formats are basically the only thing left to go into the app from a couple of webinars ago. So we've been working as hard as we can to get that one in there. But I digress. So Bob asks, now this is a 3-part question. I had to break it up because I've asked Tom to help me out with the second of his 3 questions. But Bob asked, by the way, I had to trim this one down because it was quite lengthy, but just to get to the heart of the question, but it was posted on the sign up page. So in the little Facebook group section below the sign up page. So if you want to check out his full question, you can check it out there, but I've trimmed it up a little bit. So basically Bob has both Vidsy and Content Samurai, and he wants to know if they will ever combine into one app. Because for those who don't know, Vidsy is a script creation program, and Content Samurai is obviously a video creation program. And that's a really good question. And that's something that we really want in the app too. At the moment, I mean, they're both there, and I get the frustration. They're separate, and it would be so good to have like a video creation kind of section inside the app. And it's just so you know, it's definitely something that we're working towards. It's definitely on our radar. It has been on our radar for some time, but at the moment we're just focusing on just bedding the videos down and getting this automatic, awesome, magic way of making videos, which I think we're really, really, really close to, which you've seen in the demo section. And I think in the future, in the near future, we'll probably look at seeing what we can do to add some sort of script creation into the process. But yeah, at the moment, it's not something we're actively working on because we're just trying to get the best video creation program we can for you guys at the moment. But it's definitely on our minds, and it's definitely something we're thinking about introducing in the future.
Yeah. The second part of Bob's question was around, he was saying that in previous instructions we've said not to put an image on every slide, but now we're automatically populating each slide with images. So he's just seeking some clarification about that, I guess. And the fact of it is that the video world has changed a lot in the last year and a half since we launched Content Samurai. I think it's been about a year and a half. And when we first launched it, the tool was primarily designed to create video sales letter type videos, so with lots of text on the screen and not as many images. Whereas now we've after speaking to you guys and seeing how everyone's using the app, we've realized that people are actually wanting to create more content videos rather than video sales letters. So we've realized that images and visuals are probably the most important part to a content video. You need to have engaging videos that people find visually pleasing, I guess, and engaging. So that's why we've made the switch to include images on every slide automatically. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You can turn the images off, and I know that when we get to the end, we'll circle back and we'll actually show you how to take an image off, because I know that some people don't want to have images on every single slide. We'll show you how to select no image. But I guess the thing is that video is changing, or the video formats are changing over time, and as part of what we're doing here in creating Content Samurai, we also want to make sure that we're telling you guys the right things that you should be doing. And right now, the right thing to be doing is to be putting images on all of your slides. We want your videos to be engaging and look really good, and that's why we're automatically saying, or we're automatically populating your slides with images. So yeah, things change over time, and a year and a half is a long time. So when we first launched, we did say you don't want images on every slide, but now you do. So that's why we're telling you to do it.
And the third part of his question was, if for some reason I don't like or want to remove or change my mind about a slide, I have to recreate that slide because I couldn't find a way to remove an image from a populated slide. So are you going to give us one-click removal? So again, what I'll do is I'll share my screen because there could be a couple of things you're asking here. So I'll quickly share my screen. I just switched over to Content Samurai and I switched to the script slide. So you're asking for one-click removal for images. So first of all, I just want to remind you again that you can uncheck this select images for me. So I guess that would be the one-click removal for images. But let's say, I've just checked it again, sorry. Or rechecked it, I should say. And I'm moving to the slide section. We get to see the cool little new animation of Sam. And let's say that I wanted to, I don't know, let me scroll down to a random slide. Like, let's say slide, wherever this is, 5 out of 10, right in the middle, bang in the middle. And I switch to the Images tab. The first option is always going to be Hide Image. So if you click that, you have no image. And the option next to it will always be the image you can add back. So you've got hide image and you can add the image back. You could also search, let's say I thought potato was the right word to search for here. I've clicked potato as one of the suggested. Look at these little guys. And let's say I wanted to add those. I could just click those. I could click hide image again and it would remove it. But for now, let's keep it as it was and keep that tomato image up there. And I hope that answered the third part of your question.
Okay, now we've got 2 more questions from the prepared ones, and then we'll move on to the questions you guys have asked. So Adasa said, are these videos used primarily with slides, or is the webinar geared to live videos as well? Now, I think what you were trying to ask was, does Content Samurai do live videos? The answer is no. At the moment, we're focused on creating videos that you would post up. We're kind of leaving the live videos to the big wigs in social media like Facebook and Instagram and those sort of platforms at the moment. So at the moment, we're not doing live videos, but who knows what the future holds.
Something that's kind of cool too is that you can add videos into Content Samurai. So let's say you did a live video. Let's say Tom and I did a live Facebook video, or the webinar. Let's say the webinar was a live Facebook video, just as an example. We could download that, and then when we do the replay, we could add that as a video clip in our Content Samurai videos into the middle. And we could add a little bit at the start, which is usually, hey, thanks for coming along to the webinar. And then a little bit at the end where it says, you know, I think there's usually a call to action and maybe, you know, leave some feedback type thing. But you can actually include that live video. But yeah, you can't record live video in Content Samurai. So moving on to the last question that was posted on the sign up page was from another Thomas, which is one feature I would love to see is fade in and fade out of music. The music ends abruptly, and you are correct about the music ending abruptly in the preview section. However, if you download the video, if you generate it and download the video, it will fade out. The music will fade out. It's an 0.5, so half a second fade out, but it softens it up a lot. So it's a little, you know, it's a nice soft little end there. So so fading out is there. You don't have the option to choose how long it will fade out for. At the moment, it's 0.5, so half a second fade out. And the other half of your question with the fade in, that is also a really, really, really good feature. And it's also a feature that's been on our mind, I think maybe even while we were creating Content Samurai. But we decided to have the fade out because that kind of, you know, that music ending abruptly was a bit abrupt, for lack of a better word. So the fade out's actually in there. It's just not in the preview section. So yeah, so just download your video and check it out. And if it ends abruptly in the downloaded video, which I really hope it doesn't, contact us in support, but it shouldn't.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're on to the questions that you guys have been asking throughout the webinar. Wayne, what I might get you to do is share your screen and go to Content Samurai, because there's a few questions in here that I think will need a demo. And the first one is from Joe, and Joe asked, will it be possible to add videos within the video? So would you be able to show Joe how to insert a video clip into a Content Samurai video?
Videoception, would you say?
Videoception.
Boom, boom. Yeah, of course. So I'm at the top of I'm in the slide section of Content Samurai. I hope you guys can see my screen. And there's an add video clip button all the way at the top. It's right next to an add new slide button. So add video clip right at the top here. Now there's one at the top because we want you to be able to add an intro. But let me scroll down just a little bit in between slide 1 and 2, and you'll see there are the options again. There's also a merge slides option, which will bring the slide below it up. But the question was, can you add a video clip? And yes, you absolutely can. You just click this add video clip button here. And what's going to happen is it will load up. Where we go, projects. Sorry, I wasn't prepared, so I'm going to quickly find, let's go DMW intro. So I just found that quickly on my computer. I double clicked it. Well, Tom's cat gives me a meow of approval, and it uploads. It'll do a little quick transcode, which is basically, it's Content Samurai is just making it work with your video. And here it is. It's in my slide deck. It's at slide number 2, because remember I scrolled down below the first slide and added it there. And you can click play. And watch that. That was awfully loud in my ear. And in the top left corner, you can also click this turn off background music option, which is really good. Say for this intro, if every time I use this intro, I don't want the background music to start because it has its own intro music. So I would click this button here, and that would mean the background music that I've selected won't play while this video plays. You could also have the background music play while this video plays by not checking this button. And you can also delete any videos you've uploaded. Let's say I realized the Digital Marketing Weekly intro was not meant to be at slide number 2. You can click delete, and that just goes ahead and gets rid of that.
Thank you, Wayne. Now, another question that's come in from Janet and a few others is just about adding voice to the script. They're just wanting to know what's the easiest way to add your voice to the script. So I thought we might be able to show them the different options we've got in the voice tab.
Yep, okay, so I've just switched over to the voice tab. So for this example video, we went music only, which is the default option, and it's also the one at the top of the 3 options here. So you've got your voice track options, excuse me. And the second option is record your own voice track. So if I click that, you'll notice on the right, things have changed. What Content Samurai's done is it's broken up the script into recordable bite-sized chunks, and it's done that off punctuation. So you see there's a question mark here ending this sentence. And what it's really doing is it's allowing you to record as you talk in sentences. So you record this, and I might as well just do an example recording right now. I won't do all 9 because I don't want to take up too much time in the webinar, but I'll show you how to record. So I'll click this, and what you'll see is a 3, 2, 1, and then it starts recording. And all I do is I simply record this line here, and when I'm done, I hit stop. Okay, so I'll do it now. Do you want something quick and easy for dinner? Just like that. And what I would do is you'll notice the record turned into next, so I can keep my mouse here I could also play it and re-record it and I could play it, and if I didn't like it, I could re-record it. Excuse me. Or I could just keep my mouse up where the record button is, click record, but don't want to spend all week in the gym working the calories off? Click stop, click next, and you see I'm already at 3 of 9. So it's a really, really, really easy way just to pump through all of the recordings. And that's the built-in recording. So that's a really cool feature of Content Samurai that I don't think I've seen anywhere else. And before I move on, let me just explain why we've done it sentence by sentence. Not only because it's how you talk to other people in sentences, but let's say I made a mistake. So I'll quickly record this and I'll make a mistake. Giuseppe's Pizza is now offering I don't know, whatever. I made a mistake. So I'll click stop. So you'd listen back, you'd hear that you made a mistake, and then you can go ahead and actually re-record the sentence. Giuseppe's Pizza is now offering a brand new range of healthy choice menu items. Not the best recording, but it means that I don't have to go all the way back to the first line and record the whole thing, and I don't have to do any editing too. So I just make sure that all of my recordings are done fine. And like I said, you can play them back and make sure they're all good. And Content Samurai stitches that all together and you have your voice track. So that was a very long-winded way of explaining the built-in recording. And there's another option at the bottom. If I click that, it's an upload voice track option. So I didn't have one ready. I apologize. I was just going music only for the example video, but there's a big green button here. It says choose a file to upload. So if you wanted to click upload a voice track and then click this button here, I don't have any in this folder and I didn't have any prepared. I'm sorry, but you could just find the file on your computer, you double click it and it would upload just like the intro that I showed you before, and you can play it back. And this is really powerful for getting somebody else to do your voiceover. And the best way to do that really is because you've made a script and you've popped your script into Content Samurai. You could literally just send your script off to somebody who's doing a voiceover, have them record it, send you back a file, and then you can come to this section here, the voice section, click upload a voice track and upload it. That's a great way if you don't like your own voice or you just want a more professional sounding recording. That's a really powerful, quick way of making that happen.
Yeah, it is. Now we're running out of time, so we'll probably do 5 minutes more of questions and then we'll have to wrap things up. While we're talking audio, Thomas wanted to know, can you add more voice than what is in the script? So the good news is you can add more voice than what's in the script. You don't have to follow the script exactly. The only thing to take note of is that in terms of the automatic alignment of the slides to the audio, if you stray from what's on the screen there, if you were to record it, so do you want something quick and easy for dinner? If you were to say something a lot longer or a lot shorter, the automatic alignment might not work perfectly. But in saying that, because it's broken up into sentences, the good news is that each sentence block should line up correct to the slides. So you don't have to follow the script. It's entirely up to you, but I would recommend following the script.
Don't go too far off script. You know what I mean? Don't go too far off. You could maybe say, do you want something quick, easy, yummy for lunch or dinner? That would work. That's not what is written there, but that would work. If you turn this one sentence into like a minute long recording, you might find yourself running into a bit of a problem there with the synchronization. But you can definitely stray, just don't stray too far.
That's right. Now, someone was asking, when uploading a voice track, will Content Samurai sync the audio automatically with each slide? Yes, it will.
Oh, yeah.
It actually works really, really well. So you shouldn't have any problems with that. And another audio related question came from John. When you split a sentence between slides, it creates a problem making it flow. Any suggestions? So
Well, the thing about this is that all your recordable sentences or your recordable chunks are by sentences, so they're by punctuation. So let me go down a little bit here. So you're saying, remember when I split this slide here? Visually, in the script section, I split it, so that was one slide. Everything you see highlighted is one slide. But when I've come to the voice section, it's not split because that's not the end of the sentence. I actually kept talking. And if I was having a conversation with you and I was trying to tell you about all these new things that were on the pizza, this is exactly how I would do it. I wouldn't pause after the word corn. I would keep going. I'd say, try our healthy pizzas with toppings including spinach, roasted pumpkin, corn, sweet potato, sauteed onions, freshly sliced tomato, and low-fat feta cheese. So, and that's what you would hear back once you record that. So even though I split the slide, it should still have a bit of flow because that's just the way you talk, isn't it?
yeah, and Content Samurai will know that when it does the slide changes, it'll split it at the right time so that it all sounds like one sentence. So if you're running into any problems with alignment and things like that, just get in touch with us in support, and we'll if you send us a link to the video, we'll take a look and see if we can work out what's happening. More than happy to do that.
Yeah.
One question came from Susan. She said, any plans to offer video clips in the future? I think there will be video clips in the future. I can't say when they might happen, but we'd like to be able to have some sort of video clip library. So yeah, it's definitely on the cards. And again, if people want that feature, let us know now. Let us know in the comments that that's something you want. Another question came from someone saying, can they have image only slides? Do they have, can they turn the text off? So I thought we might be able to show them how to do that, and also show them the different layouts, because there's been a few questions about how to have different layouts with the text at the top and the text at the bottom. You might be able to cover that stuff again really quickly.
Yep. So I'll just quickly get rid of that. Okay, so I'll touch on the first half of that question, which is, can you have image only? So up here, where in the menu that runs along the top of each slide, there's the bold, italicized, underline. Then the fourth one in is hide text. So I've clicked that button and it reveals a gorgeous full screen image. Unfortunately, there's no automatic option like there is for turning on automatic image population, Ken Burns, and bolding. So you can't. So you have to manually do this one, unfortunately, at the moment. If you want a one-click hide, please let us know. But it's not something that a lot of people have been talking about, so we haven't focused on it. But you can hide the text on all of them, but you have to go through and click the button on the slides that you don't want to see text on. Okay, so that is probably a good example for that. Now I'll move down about halfway through my slide deck, and I'll touch on the other half of the question, which is the layout question. So on the left side here in the slides, you've got layout. So I click on the layout tab and you'll see that there's text centered, text on the left, which I'll click, puts the text on the left. Come down, you've got text on the right, text at the bottom, text at the top, and there's another one that text covers the full slide, which looks very similar to the top one, which is text centered, except it does cover more of the slide. So have a look at what you're seeing on the slide there, and I'll scroll to the top and I'll click text centered now. You'll notice it didn't really do a great deal for this because there wasn't that much text. But do you remember how I split the slide? What I'm going to have to do is scroll up, unhide this, and I'm going to click the merge slides button. So that split I did earlier is basically going to undo because it's going to put everything back onto one slide. Now I'm on text centered. If I scroll down to the bottom, and I click text covers the full slide, you'll see that it actually does make much more of a difference. So that's what text covers the full slide and text centered. That's the difference between those. And obviously text on the left and text on the right, text below and text above or on top are pretty straightforward.
Yep. Okay. Now, Frankie has asked this question quite a few times, so I promised him we'd go next. How can I keep the same image for multiple slides with ease?
With ease. With ease. Okay, so let me come up here and unhide the text for this. So you'll notice that, like I said before, what Content Samurai is doing is it's looking at the text that's on each slide, and it's picking its favorite word for each one of these slides to find an image for. Okay, so you can tell that by the suggested images here, the suggested links or image searches. Okay, so what you would actually think, or what I would think, is that Content Samurai looked for calories. Okay, so if I click calories and I scroll down a little bit and I don't find the image, and if you remember, it used to be before I changed it, a man lifting weights. So that's really what we're looking for. Okay, so calories, I go like that. Okay, it wasn't calories. And why it wasn't calories is because Content Samurai determined that to not fit the rest of the slide. I hope that makes sense. So even though calories was the best word, deemed the best word to search for an image for this slide, it also realized that using one of these images here, it just wouldn't fit in with the video. It wouldn't match the video. It would look a bit off. So if you click on Jim, it's found this image here, which was the original image, and it deemed that to be the better image to use for this slide. And by looking at these suggested images up here, you can find the image that Content Samurai automatically selected. And what that means is that you could scroll down to the next slide here, and you could add it there. I could scroll down to the slide below and add it there. But we all know that that doesn't really make sense to have a guy lifting weights. So you could just switch it back to the original, or yeah, that's how you'd find it with ease. So let me show you another example, because it's not as straightforward as some of these other processes. So, okay, lemon, zesty lemon, right? This is a great one, because let's say I wanted to have zesty lemon on the next slide. You'd look at the suggested images up here. You'd click on lemon. You'd scroll down a little bit. And there you go. There's the image there on the left-hand side. So that means you could scroll to the slide below if you like. And I'm kind of butchering this video at the moment just for your examples, but you'll see that you can add this slide and that slide have the same images. So you can add an image over multiple slides. So just check the suggested image links up here. If you don't find it in the first, I don't know, if you scroll down a little bit off the first search, so for example, desserts, sorry, I've mixed, but if you don't find it on the first example, it'll probably be in the second one or the third one. But the key is that you don't have to scroll down too much. So if you find yourself scrolling a lot, it's probably the next word along.
Yeah. Now, Dave wanted to know, can we upload direct to YouTube and Facebook from within Content Samurai? Also, and videos produced, are they stored in the cloud? So first of all, you can't upload directly to YouTube and Facebook from Content Samurai at the moment. There is sort of talks around doing that stuff in the future, and it's something that we would like to do. So stay tuned for further updates to that in the future. in terms of are they stored in the cloud, they are stored in our cloud service. So you don't need to store them on your computer. As long as you've got your Content Samurai subscription active, you'll always have access to those videos. The other question Dave had that Wayne might be able to quickly show, and we are running out of time, was can we add a client's logo to the slides? And if so, how? I believe we covered this in a previous webinar or a training video, didn't we?
Yeah. I think there's a video in the Help Center, which if I do this,
Wayne will try and dig that up, and we'll post a link to that, Dave, in the chat box, and I'll try and pump out a few more of these questions while he does that. Where are we? Someone was saying, is there a way to insert a video clip of the presenter? If it's not possible now, is it something that's possible in the future? At the moment, you can't have a talking head and the slides on the screen at the same time, but you can insert a video clip as Wayne showed earlier. Can we put images on top of images, like a logo on top of the images? We are working towards having a watermarking feature that will allow you to have a logo over the entire video. I'm not sure if I was meant to say that we are working towards it or not, but that is something that we are working towards. So at the moment, you can't have images on top of images, but we are working towards making it easy for you guys to have logos, because essentially that's what you guys are wanting to do. Are there any limitations to the script length using the new auto features? Not that I'm aware of. I don't think we've run into any issues. So if you run into any issues with a really long video, let us know, but it should all work.
Yep.
How many images are in your database? Ooh,
so
lots.
Lots. It used to be like 12,000, and then we got more.
No,
so
it's been millions. It's always been millions, I thought.
Was it 1.2? It's a big number. It's a really big number. What we've done, instead of improve on the quantity, is the quality. And that's something we should probably talk about. We've got a new provider of images. So I don't know if you would have searched for images a couple of months ago, you would have seen probably, maybe, I've searched for lemon here in, can you guys still see my screen? Can you still see my screen, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So you'll notice that I'm scrolling down and there are lots of lemons, debatably a lime there, or unripe lemon. But the fact is there are lots of lemons. And a couple of months ago, you just wouldn't get that many results for that search word, lemon. And what we've done is we realized that a lot of people were telling us that, which is awesome by you, our customers, and we improved it. We went to this site, pexels.com, which if you're part of the I Use Content Samurai group, we were trying it out for a little while. We got some positive feedback. So thank you for everyone who tried that out. And we switched over to Pexels, and you'll notice that the images are much more accurate to the search term that you actually search for. So the number's really big, but it's more about the quality of the image than it is the quantity of images.
Yeah. But out of curiosity, I'm going to find out today exactly how big our image library is, and I'll post it in the I Use Content Samurai Facebook group. So join the group if you would like to know that number. I am writing myself a note to do that as I speak. Really quickly, we are way over time. Yeah. These images and audio, can be used freely? ? Yes, they can. The only thing you need to do is when you upload your video to YouTube or you upload it to Facebook, is to grab the Creative Commons attribution that I think Wayne is about to show us now on the screen. Yep. So you'll see down the bottom there, we've got copy to clipboard button. You simply click that button and it copies that text that Wayne's highlighted there, and you just need to paste that. So that's what you need to do when you're using our images and our audio as well. Any other questions? I'm sorry, guys. There are going to be questions that I've missed, and I do apologize. So in the future, if you want to make sure that your question is answered, ask it on the registration page below the video. That way we will definitely answer it. It's just we're running way over time. Are there any in there, Wayne, that you can see that I've missed that are obvious?
I haven't even looked. I was kind of leaning on you to look through the chat room and just let me know what to show off. But we are running a little bit over time, so we might wrap it up there, hey?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to wrap it up there, guys.
So there you go. Thanks for making it to the end. We hope you're as excited about the new features as we are. So, what are you waiting for? Open up Content Samurai right now and make a new video with these awesome time-saving features. And if you don't have a Content Samurai account, click the link below this video to get your free trial. Bye for now.